let's take a look at the One Ring starter set, Overhill and Underhill by Free League Publishing.
Hi, I'm Ryan of the North, and if you like this channel and the content that I'm creating, please like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe.
Now this set has been out for quite some time since I've recorded this video, about 6 to 8 months I guess, sometime before the summer or during the summer. But I wanted to reboot the channel as I've been on kind of a little bit of a hiatus of developing content, and part of the reason is I've been stuck in the 41st millennium of Warhammer, essentially playing with little plastic men, hoping to create some content for that. If people are wanting to see that, please let me know in the comments. But right now we're talking about the One Ring. So this is the starter set. This is the second in the series for the One Ring role-playing game, second edition by Free League Publishing. And this is a kind of a starter set that is more of your traditional kind of neutral start to the campaign. The original was set, of course, as a lot of people are aware, set within the Shire itself and very targeted to hobbits. Not a whole lot of leeway to bringing in outside races from elsewhere in Middle-earth, with the exception of course, Balin of the dwarves. You know, some people have, you know, kind of homebrewed, adding in certain characters and tweaking the starter set, the original starter set adventures to add in characters, but it was mainly targeted to get everybody going like the books, and you know, of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, where you start off at the Shire and then you go then forth to explore Middle-earth from there. So this starter set again is set within the region outside of the Shire, within Eriador proper, and it does come with a number of great pieces to add to your game. Again, not required to have to play the One Ring, but if you wanted to test it out for anybody new to the game, new to RPGs, this is a great way to start. If you had the original starter set and you're kind of wondering, should I get this or shouldn't I? I think there's a lot of good added value to this, and a lot of better kind of quick start rules, and from what I've gathered, and you know, again, not everybody is really apt to play hobbits, as well as do a kind of lighthearted, more mellowed startup adventuring as you'd see in the original Shire set. Now, as some of you already know, really a good, really a thoroughly enjoy, and I really like the pace and the setting of the Shire itself is what drew me into the Kickstarter in the first place a number of years ago when this second edition was started. And I've written, of course, a number of additional adventures added to increase the playability of, you know, a group of hobbits or not within the Shire itself. And link to those videos are here up in the corner. But yeah, we start off with, you know, a condensed rules for the action resolution, combat, councils, and journeys, as found in the core rulebook. Complete adventures, Overhill and Underhill, which bring the heroes deep into the wildlands of northern Eriador to face a dark threat. There's a large full-color map of Eriador, as well as something new that started within the Moria campaign book was a combat diagram on the back, and we'll take a closer look on that when we open up the box. There are also, to add to the combat diagram, beautifully illustrated cardboard stand-up figures for player heroes and for adversaries. There are 5 pre-generated and illustrated player hero character sheets. And then there's 2 D12 feat die and 6 D6 success dice, all engraved with the One Ring proprietary custom symbols, so it makes it a little easier. Now again, You could, as you can see in some of my other videos about making rolls and whatnot, I mean, these are just regular D6 die and D12 die, and you can use, you know, any that you would have normally. It's just that these have the specific markings. So let's take a closer look. So ripping the cellophane off, you didn't really need to see me to do that. Just wanted to comment on the beautiful artwork that the One Ring and Free League has brought to the game. And just exquisite artwork that really brings to life the look and feel of Middle-earth to your tabletop. So opening up the box, what we'll see is, unlike the original starter set that was kickstarted, that there is no printed map or printed, you know, lore master style tables in the back to help you. The original starter set had that, and you could actually use that then as a kind of a quasi, you know, lore master screen if you wanted to. But that's unfortunate. Always nice to see if you could see that, but it might actually add to a little bit of cost to the starter set itself. And I can't remember what the actual pricing was on it, but it's actually not that bad. That's why I love these starter sets. You can kind of pick one up and it would actually look quite good on any bookshelf. So starting off, you do have the, you know, the not so subtle Free League games catalog, which lists all of the great games that that they produce. Alien, the new Evolve edition, of course, Blade Runner, etc. The One Ring, showcasing this starter set. The Lord of the Rings role-playing, which is the 5e version of this. The starter set there. Dragonbane, Coriolis, the Great Dark, Vaesen, Samborium, new Heroes, Invincible game, and then others. We see these are for the cardboard cutouts, the little plastic pieces, so you can kind of take those cardboard cutouts and stick them in there. You get the proprietary set of D6s and D12s. Again, noticing the Gandalf symbol, as well as the Eye of Sauron, representing in this rule set, and I explained that in other videos. I'm not going to go into depth here. And then, of course, your Tangwar for your D6 for, again, the specific rules for the One Ring role-playing game and its unique rule set. Throw away the silica gel. We have just a little sheet that goes over the starter set. Sitting round the fire, they told him in turn all that they could remember of their journeys and adventures. An excerpt from The Return of the King. This is pretty neat. So if you're just new to the game, you're kind of wondering to see what it's all about. Neat that they actually added, you know, the section for the further adventures, listing the core rulebook, Ruins of the Lost Realm, Tales from the Lone Lands, Moria Through the Doors of Durin, and then one of the newer books that was recently published, Realms of the Three Rings. Of course, there's going to be a new book out that's focusing on Saruman. Off the top of my head, can't remember the name of it right now. Next, we have the Rulebook. Very tight from the book. So here we have the rules, a condensed version from the actual core rulebook. As you can see, it's quite thin, quite small, as compared to what you'd get in the main core rulebook. But it does show you gives you enough information to get started for a quick start adventure, a quick bunch of 1 or 2 or 3 sessions to play, to get people introduction into the game, introduced to the world. And one of the great things about the One Ring is that you don't need to know a lot about the world and the lore of Middle-earth. A lot of it is explained here, and the great writing that's from the writers kind of gets you going through it. Again, won't go through the rule set here and whatnot. You can see a lot of my videos previously that go through it. I might kind of do a quick video summarizing the quick rule set for this. Oh, I do see that they do have something that's neat, a combat example that actually goes about explaining how to use the new cutouts, cardboard cutouts, and then the combat diagram. So that's actually pretty neat. Something that's new that's not in the core rulebook. I'll take a little closer look at that. I do have a video talking about the combat circle that I made, that I adapted from Professor Dungeon Master's Ultimate Dungeon Terrain. And it'd be neat to see if that still works within this rule set. And so that's that. A lot of the same artwork from the original starter set and the original Kickstarter is still out here. So that's pretty neat. That's good. Next up, we actually have the set of adventures of Overhill and Underhill. Not far ahead were dreary hills, rising higher and higher, dark with trees. On some of them were old castles with an evil look, as if they had been built by wicked people. And that's an excerpt from The Hobbit. So again, kind of getting a feel for, if you're new to the game, for the world of Middle-earth. Little section here for the DM to let the players choose freely among the 5 available pre-generated player heroes in the box set. Again, I'm not going to go through the adventures, but there are a number of parts to it and areas that you travel along. So that's pretty neat. Doesn't seem to be quite long. Maybe take a couple of sessions, maybe one or two to get through it, and depending on the amount of role play that you do, you know, it could take even longer. I know for my games that I've ran, what I would think maybe would only take 2 or 3 hours has actually taken 2 or 3 sessions because of the amount of role play that people do. So, as you can see, we've got the pre-generated player characters. Gira, daughter of Gutar, who is, let's see, a barding. We have Regan Stonefist, which looks to obviously be a dwarf of Durn's folk. We have Fimbrithil of the Havens, basically an elf of the Grey Havens, or elves of Linden. Mentha Northtooks, obviously a hobbit of the Shire. Unfortunately, not a Bree hobbit. And then we have Duinhir Eaglenose, who is a ranger of the north. We have a letter that essentially starts off as a handout for, I guess, for the adventure. On the back of that is the journey map. Again, I do a video that you can watch up to here that explains the journey and how to use the journey map. Advising to probably take a photocopy of this, or just use some hex paper if you have it, or just even a plain sheet and then get some, or print out some hex. Here we have the map that is coming into it. I'll pull it off screen. A nice, that you can just lay quickly down on the table. A nice, 4-page basically map that you can spread down. Has beautifully drawn and map of the Eriador proper. The original starter set actually had this, and then on the flip side it had the Shire map that was done for that starter set. And then on the back of this is the combat diagram. So yeah, so you see it just, again, another beautifully illustrated. You'll see this when you purchase, or if you do purchase the Mines of Moria campaign book. This will be on the back side of the Moria map. So it's nice to actually have in the starter set for everybody to use if you don't happen to get the Moria book, but highly recommend getting that one. And then we have the very heavy cardstock player hero and adversary cutouts to use in your games to help out with your stances and use with the combat diagram. So we have done here Mentha, Reagan, Fimbithrill, and Gira, and a couple of the adversaries that the lore master would use against the player heroes. And they're both on both sides of the paper. And there you have it. This is just a quick unboxing and a quick jumpstart back into doing some more YouTube videos and content for my channel, and focusing on most everything Free League, and probably going to be branching out into other games as well. Check out, so thanks for watching, and if you want to support the channel and promote everything that I do reviews on or look at some of the rules on, please hit that like button, and hope to see you back soon. Again, thank you for watching, and happy gaming.